Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be... Oh, frick.
What the? Yo guys, welcome back to another video. As you can see in the beginning little skit here, I have my wonderful girlfriend, Kayla, here with me today. She is visiting me for the holiday, and today is our last day together. So we figured we would talk about a little series known as Chainsaw Man that I'm sure not a lot of you have heard of or have heard me talk about on the channel before. I've never talked about it before, and to many people's surprise, it's one of my favorite series. So yeah, we're going to be talking about it today because she here has just finished the series during her stay. Her and I have read the last 3 volumes of it just the other day. Sort of binged through it, just the ending. So yeah, she's going to be giving us her thoughts, and we're just going to be discussing the series as a whole. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get right into it. So before we do get into the little Chainsaw Man review, I did want to treat you guys with a little bit of a mini haul here. Since as I'm filming this, it is Christmas Day. There are a few things that we both have total here. Of course, most of my manga, or all of my manga rather, I'm going to be saving for the haul I do every month, or mostly every month, at the end of the month. I do have something that I do want to show off though, but Kayla here does have a few volumes, or a couple volumes that she wants to show, since she has never shown off any manga here on the channel before, as of course this is her first time, her first appearance.
We were supposed to do something like this back in
July or August.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, she was supposed to be on the channel a long time ago, and we were actually going to do like a my girlfriend's manga collection kind of thing and show her starting off collecting manga, because I mean, she had a little bit of manga to begin with, but we really got into it more because of me. So she doesn't have a very large collection, but since her and I have been together, she's her collection has blossomed, to say the least, and she's running out of room.
I am out of room.
yeah, and you got you more. So
now I have a problem.
Yeah, you do.
It's a lovely problem.
It is the gift of manga. You gotta love it.
Indeed.
You can never have too much. Well, you can. But anyways, let's start this little mini haul off. Kayla has a couple volumes here, both of which I actually got her, by the way, because, I mean, I am the manga guy here. I'm kind of epic, so you want to show off your first volume here?
Indeed.
Alright.
This first volume is a new manga called Colorless, I think.
Mm-hmm.
How recently did it come out?
I believe it came out over the summer. I could be wrong, though. At least physically, like the physical volumes. Yeah.
So this is quite new.
Yeah.
And he gave it to me because you said it reminded you of me.
Yeah.
And how it like reminded you of like kaiju also in a way.
Yeah. When I first saw when the series came out, it just the sci-fi aspect of it and just like the art and stuff reminded me of her when I first saw it. And I looked through it, and there's like a lot of like mutants and stuff.
Yeah.
And the designs definitely remind me a bit of like kaiju-esque creatures. And there's a lot of interesting stuff, like just how it's done with the whole theme of it being colorless. I don't know. There's a lot that I like about it, and with it being that sort of sci-fi stuff, and it being a new series, I figured that she would enjoy it, and so that's why I did get it for her. Yeah, I also, spoiler alert, picked it up this month as well. So I will be giving it a try, giving you guys my thoughts here on the channel. But yeah, Kayla, what are you excited for?
I'm really excited about the story itself.
Yeah.
I think the fact that a colorless world with like colors being somewhat like so rare, I just think it's really cool. And the way that they like show how, okay, it's mostly a black and white, but every little bit or every so often there's like little bits of color, and I just find that to be like really unique about this thing.
Right.
Usually it's not. I'm tripping off.
I guess she's having a little trouble talking here. She's not very familiar talking with on camera. Apparently, I'm not either. She's not very adept at it. But I think what she's trying to say is, and I also agree. One of the cool things about this manga is, mostly manga is black and white anyway. But the fact that this manga is black and white plays a part into the story as a whole. It's almost self-aware in that way, but throughout the story there is little blots of color, as you guys can see on the cover. You will see like this teal sort of color throughout the story, and it's supposed to be like rare. And the way that it's done, the 7 Seas print is just excellent. So yeah, really cool. Yeah, I'm just really excited to get into this myself, and I know she is as well. Okay, and so the next thing that she did get, and this was actually a Christmas present. This volume I actually just got on a whim for her, but this was actually a Christmas present that I got a while ago and like wrapped up and stuff that she just got this morning. So would you like to show that off?
I would.
All right.
Book 3 of Vinland Saga.
Oh yeah.
It's awesome. Probably one of my favorite mangas out there. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. She's loving Vinland Saga. She read the first 2 books, and she was wanting to get book 3, but it's basically nowhere to be found in stock, like in stores at the moment. She does, as far as I know, like all of your manga shopping, like in store, right?
Yeah.
So, but me, I do a lot of online manga shopping, and this was in stock on Amazon, so I was like, I pulled a sneaky without her knowing and just got it, because I didn't think that this would come back in stores for a minute. Which luckily it didn't, and she didn't get it, so she was able to get it here from me. And now that you have this, you can continue the story, and the rest of it's in stock in stores at the moment, so you can go at your own pace and read the rest of the story now. But Kayla, what is it about Vinland Saga that you are enjoying so much right now?
I really like how it's just about the Vikings and like, what is it?
Like, sort of like there are some Norse mythology elements, but just like Norse culture in general.
Yeah. I find that stuff to be like really interesting. I've always liked that kind of stuff, but there was nothing that really piqued my interest as much as Vinland Saga did. And I'm really glad that he likes Vinland Saga so much and introduced me to it.
Oh yeah.
Let's just say it's a bit of a lifesaver.
Yeah. So yeah, of course you guys know Vinland Saga is my favorite series of all time as it stands. I love it a lot, and you know, I've always talked about how I love Viking stuff, and it's such a niche little interest of mine, you know, between Vinland Saga and books like The Last Kingdom, stuff like that. I like Viking stuff. I always play a Viking in Skyrim, like, I just love that kind of thing. Norse mythology, and you guys will see that I do like Norse mythology here in just a second when I show off what I got. But yeah, Vinland Saga is just really dope, and I had to get her into it because as soon as I started learning that she likes manga and that I'm able to get her to read things.
Say that like I don't read at all.
Well, you read. I'm just saying I can get you to read what I want to read, you know. I'm able to put my interest on you and like introduce you to stuff that I like. That's what I'm trying to say.
More things to bond over.
Exactly. And so I actually didn't know that she liked Vikings like that. So it's really cool that that just so happened to be a thing where like she's really into like kaiju stuff, and she didn't know that I like kaiju, and I'm really into Viking stuff, and I didn't know that she liked Vikings. So it's kind of a cool thing there. So yeah, we were able to continue Vinland Saga. It's a dope series. And finally, for stuff that we are going to be showing off today, I will show what I got, which of course, like I said, is not manga related, because I do want to save my manga for the end of the month. But I did want to show this off because I absolutely love it. Girlfriend here, Kaylah, or Kayla, whatever you wish to call her, got me a wonderful gift for Christmas. It's something that I've wanted since it came out, and I was just waiting on getting. She got it for me. And that, of course, is God of War Ragnarok. Highly, highly anticipated video game here. Critically acclaimed, of course, almost won the Game Awards this year. Of course, Elden Ring taking the #1 spot. But yeah, I just recently played through God of War, and I was going to do a review of that here on the channel, which there's plans to still do that possibly by the end of the month. We'll see. If not, maybe January we'll bring another video. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, may or may not end up streaming this. I do have to try and finish Ghost of Tsushima at some point, but I just haven't had the time to stream lately, so we'll see about that. But I do want to hop into this game as soon as possible, though, so I might put Ghost of Tsushima on the back burner since it's a game that I have already played and I have not experienced this one yet, so this might end up being a priority for me. And yeah, I loved the first game. Spoiler alert for the review. It's a great game. I mean, it shouldn't be a spoiler since everybody and their mom loves Kratos in that game. And yeah, this is just the sequel. And yeah, big epic. And thank you for getting me this.
You are very much welcome.
Yeah, gonna be playing this soon. So we did take a little bit of a detour there in the beginning of the video. I apologize about that, but that's okay because we did want to show some stuff off and spend some more time here on the channel. She doesn't have very long to be here before she does have to go back home, sadly. But
tomorrow morning at 6:30.
that is no lie. Yeah,
Unfortunately.
we've got to get up at like 5:45 tomorrow, so.
Lord.
Yeah. But it'll be a minute until you guys see her again, sadly, so we did want to spend some time talking about more stuff than just what pertains to the actual video. So, yeah. Anyways, Chainsaw Man. Overall, what did you think of the series? Just like, without getting into like specific things, what is just your general thoughts of the series?
It was very chaotic.
Yeah.
A lot happened throughout the entire thing. Each volume was also quite goofy.
Yes, very goofy.
Some things could have been not seen.
Right.
Well, we're not going to go into detail about that.
We don't have to. We can if you want to.
We're not going to talk about, what was it, volume 6 or 7?
Volume 7. If you know, you know.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Quan Chi.
No.
What?
No.
Anyway, Chainsaw Man is indeed quite the chaotic series, and it's definitely very fast-paced. And I know you're not really great with, like, remembering things and with names, so did you find it really difficult to keep up in the beginning when you weren't used to reading a series like that?
It was a bit difficult at first, but I think around the middle or end I got more used to it.
You became more acclimated to the style
Yeah.
of the story. Yeah, and just how Fujimoto, the author, how he writes it and just how he does things, I guess. You got more of a grasp on how things work. Right. So more specifically, what are some of your favorite parts about Chainsaw Man? Like favorite scenes, favorite characters, just favorite like moments or just pieces about it. What is your favorite? If you need me to make it easier for you, what's like your favorite scene or like battle, fight, whatever?
I want to say the battles that happened in like the last 3 volumes.
Are you talking about? We are going to be talking about heavy spoilers here. So if you guys have not finished part 1 of Chainsaw Man, maybe this isn't the video for you. So yeah, just warning, we are going to be talking about the ending here. So, are you talking about the fight, like, with like all 7 of the weapons?
There's a lot of fights that happen in the end, but that is definitely one of them.
Are you talking about like the one with when he's like the hero of hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, when Makima or when Pochita takes control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part completely threw me off guard. I thought Pochita was just this little orange nugget. He is not a little orange nugget. Definitely not.
Yeah. Pochita is a beast, as we come to find out. He is the Chainsaw Devil, which, you know, just a little nugget, little doggy dog Pochita. is definitely not what we think. And yeah, once that gets revealed, once Denji loses control, loses faith in himself, and just loses the will to be and will to live, and Pochita finally takes over, we get the whole hero of hell, and just the thing, alright, off topic. I was in the middle of I was on a roll here, but words. The secret Chainsaw Man power. When he eats things, when he eats the devils, what do you think about that?
I think that is just really hard to comprehend. The fact that he's like, if he eats a certain devil, whatever, like, what was Mike talking about? What is
she was talking about the Nazis and the Holocaust.
Like, okay, this is spoilers.
Right.
When the chainsaw devil ate the Nazi devil, no one would be able to remember that, ever, as if it never happened.
Right.
That is just crazy to me.
Yeah. So the way it works is, in hell, whenever the chainsaw devil consumes a devil, the name that it's associated with is wiped from everybody's memory. And the only reason why Makima is able to remember all of these different things is because she is the control devil. And there has been some theories on why exactly she's able to remember, but I think the reason why is because she has full control over her own mind, and she's sort of using her power on herself to remember that. It's a little bit confusing, and it's not very well explained. And a lot of the ending of this manga here is really up for interpretation. But that's one theory that I have heard, though it's not concrete. Anything that he consumes is erased from existence. So he must have eaten either the Holocaust devil or the Nazi devil or whatever. And this example is used with Makima when she's talking to Kishibe, and she asks him, like, do you remember what the Nazis did to the Jews? And he doesn't even know what a Nazi is. And that's because he ate it, and so everything, the Holocaust, was just wiped from existence. So that is really what makes the Chainsaw Devil so powerful, and why everybody is after Pochita in the first place. You want to get coffee after this? So one of the most important things about this series is, of course, its characters. Kayla, which characters are you taking? Who are your favorite characters in Chainsaw Man? It's got such a bright and diverse cast. Give me, your, 3 favorites. It doesn't have to be your 3 favorites. Just give me a handful that you would say are, top tier.
I think Aki's definitely one of them.
Oh, yeah. If you guys... Alright, I'm gonna butt in here. When reading Volume 9 of Chainsaw Man, I had her sitting right next to me. And if you guys know what happens in Volume 9...
it was rough.
It was rough.
It was quite rough.
She here literally bawled her eyes out.
I did, for
10 minutes or more.
10 minutes.
10, 15 minutes. Just crying. And at first I was like, did something happen? Did I do something? And then it occurred to me, she was crying over what happened in the manga. And usually I don't get really emotional about manga. I mean, I'll get, hyped. I'll be like, oh, that just happened. But never emotional in that sense, where it's, just despair. So it was interesting for me to watch that, and a little heartbreaking, honestly. But she definitely liked Aki enough to bawl her eyes out for 15 minutes after Volume 9. We had to take a break during Volume 9.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we set it down and we picked it up the next day. Halfway through the volume.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Alright, Aki. Who else? I can think of a certain someone.
Okay, then who were you thinking of?
Kaboom.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Okay, guess that explains it. Rize. Rize is another one of my favorite characters.
Rize is dope. I quite like her. Her whole thing where she was secretly trained as a Soviet spy.
Yeah.
That was cool. How they threw in the random Russian in it, and then at first I thought it was a misprint, Like, I was like, did they put this in the
No.
wrong language here?
It turns out that was a translation of a song that she was doing.
Yeah, the lullaby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that somebody, like, if you didn't know any better, you can go through and, like, actually translate it yourself and see that it's, like, a lullaby. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Rize is a dope character. Do you have one or two more?
I ended up liking Kishibe a lot.
Kishibe.
He came in clutch.
Kishibe came in big clutch. I'm always quite fond of, like, the mentor characters. Like, in Vinland Saga, I love Askeladd. He's really cool. Naruto, Kakashi. I mean, Kakashi's one of my favorite characters just of all time. I love Roy Mustang and Full Metal Alchemist, another one of my favorites. There's just so many great mentor characters out there, and they're definitely meant to be that character that you're supposed to really get attached to. And usually, you know, they oftentimes get killed off for, like, emotional effect and, like, to drive the main character. But that's definitely not the case in Chainsaw Man. Kishibe is able to hold his own. Like, he is that guy. He is that guy. Yeah, he's just a really cool character, and I think it was really funny. One of my favorite parts was at the end of, I believe it was volume 8, when it shows his relationship with Quan Chi.
Yeah.
Where it shows him as, like, younger next to her, and he keeps asking her out, and then slowly, and like, he gets older, and she appears to be the same age. Like, she doesn't age at all, and it's just him aging, and then eventually she's just like, I like chicks.
He's like, I know.
Yeah, he's like, I know. Yeah, that was funny.
It was.
Yeah, and of course, in the background, he was pulling strings the entire time. Again, trying to enlist Quan Chi's help to defeat Makima in the final act. Of course, that didn't help. She declined and got murked by Makima, and then was brought back to life under her control in the final battle. But yeah, Kishibe had a lot planned, and definitely, I mean, he came in clutch. He was organizing everything for Makima's defeat, and at the end, he entrusts Denji with Nayuta, which I will get into. That's one of the last things that I did want to touch on, is the actual ending of part 1. But yeah, Kishibe is definitely a great character. Do you want to get a cookie after this?
Yeah. Cookie and coffee?
Cookie and coffee. Let's do it. And lastly, the final thing I want to talk about, as alluded to before, is, of course, the final act and just the ending of everything. After we get the final battle between the Hero of Hell and Denji and all 7 Weapon Devils and Makima. After all that, and we see Denji finally cut through Makima with his chainsaw, and he comes up with this elaborate plan to defeat her. What do you think about everything that goes down within the last chapter or 2?
Like,
He's
I'm gonna have to go with what Kishibe said, and a bit of a out there plan, but at the same time, it's also kind of smart in a way.
Yeah, one thing about Denji throughout the series you'll see is he's so stupid and just so dumb that it's actually genius. Like, we see him, like, with this, when, of course, so the way Makima's power works, she has a contract where if she is to be attacked or take damage from somebody who with the intent to attack, then that damage will be taken from her and inflicted upon a random Japanese citizen. So, which is why throughout the series we see her die several times. And even with her in her battle with Denji, she says that he killed her like 26 times. And she's still chilling, you know? So anytime she were to die, it's just like, nope, never happened. The random Japanese dude is dead instead. Or she gets her arm blown off, regrows, random Japanese dude in the country is just arm blown off. So any attack, it has to be with the intent of attack. So the way the ending happens is Denji comes up with the idea of, rather with the intent of attacking her, well, firstly, he uses a chainsaw made out of Power's blood, and Power is able to stop the flow of regeneration. So Makima, when cut with it, isn't able to regenerate as quickly as she normally would be. So Denji is able to maintain her in small pieces, I guess for longer than what she normally would. With that, he decides to literally put her into Tupperware and take her home and put her in his fridge and munch on that, bro. Like, he starts becoming like a culinary genius. You see like an entire page of just dishes that he cooks, and it just looks delicious. But what's funny is it's literally all made out of Makima's flesh and her body until finally he consumes her entire body. But because it wasn't with the intent of attacking her, it works, and ends up dying. So part 1 ends, of course, I mean, you guys know, we're talking about her here, she's just now experiencing this, with the introduction of a new character named Nayuta, who is this little girl who happens to be the Control Devil. Of course, Makima was once the Control Devil, and as explained prior in the series, whenever a devil dies in our world, they get sent to hell, all of their memories are wiped, and they are reborn in hell. And once they are reborn in hell, they can be killed, and then all of their memories from hell are wiped, and they are reborn into our world. It's an infinite cycle, but every time they go from one plane of existence to the next, all of their memories are wiped. So Makima dies in our world, and then also apparently dies in hell, and shows back up as this character named Nayuta, who's this little girl who Kishibe entrusts Denji to look after. And what are you thinking about Nayuta and the future of her character and Chainsaw Man as a whole? Denji's future with this little girl, just everything. What are you thinking? Where does it go from here?
Hopefully not to crap.
Yeah. The whole reason why Kishibe entrusted Nayuta to Denji is because if the government were to have gotten hold of her and raised her, then she would have just grown up the same way that the previous Control Devil did, and then we would just have a whole nother Makima situation, which is terrible. We don't want that. So he figured giving her to Denji, she would be in better hands than with the government, and would most likely turn out to be less of a problem than not. But more specifically though, where do you think the series is going to go from here?
Oh God.
You don't know. To be fair, neither of us have read part 2 yet. I think we are both waiting for it to come out, like physically.
Do you know when it does come out?
I don't think it has come out in Japan yet.
Oh, we still got a while then.
We do still have quite a while. Yeah, it hasn't come out physically in Japan, but there was like the cover, the volume cover that was, and I don't know if it was announced or leaked, but we do have that. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure. But one thing, I guess a little bit of a spoiler, and I was spoiled on this too, for part 2. One of the main emphasis of part 2, I guess, is the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which was briefly mentioned prior in part 1 when Makima is talking about all of the things that she wishes to erase with her like perfect utopia. She's talking about death, hunger, all of that. And I can't remember all of them, but I believe it was death, famine. I don't remember the other 2, but those are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And since those things are so feared, they are devils, and so they're some of the most powerful devils there is. And I'm pretty sure they're like the main focus of Chainsaw Man Part 2, and Denji has to fight against them or something. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but I just know that that's a big part, which is going to be interesting to see. But what I'm really interested to see is how you and I read it together, because now that you're caught up, you and I are on the same level, so whatever new content comes out will be new for the both of us. So yeah, that's really dope. We're on the same page now, and we'll be able to consume that media together, which, I mean, we do with a lot of stuff, so really awesome. Anyways, guys, that is going to be about it for today's video. We're gonna spend the rest of the night just chilling since this is our last night together, sadly, again. But a special thank you to our very special guest here. Yeah, Kaylah, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
That was terrible, but
Try it again.
try it again. Dap you up here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for being here. And hopefully she'll be on the channel again soon. Sooner than later. Probably not soon, but sooner than later. That's what I just said. Great. Anyways, guys, again, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. We did smash our goal for the end of the year. We hit over 230 subs when my goal was to get 225. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for all of the new subs here on the channel. I hope you guys do choose to stick around. And yeah, I guess once she leaves tomorrow and things go back to normal, sorta, after the holiday part, you know, after Christmas, I'll start getting back in the groove of making more content for you guys. I know it took like a week or two-ish. It was like a week and a half off of making content. So yeah, stay tuned for more end of the year content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ready? Peace.